Oh, we crushed it. How are we doing? Happy Monday. I'm excited to start this week. I don't know if you guys have weeks like this where you're like, this is a week that we need to crush and we're going to crush it. There's like so much in the week that you have to do that you're like, the only way to go through this week is to crush it. And so we're excited for it. We're like, there's a lot that's going to happen by the end of this week, because if it doesn't, then that's just then we just got a problem. So we're going to make it happen, and I'm actually really excited about it. It's going to be really fun. So I've been anticipating all weekend. My cute family was in town, which was amazing, to hang out with them, but now it's go time. It's ready to go. Okay, we're going to catch up on this story. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Here's where we are. In the story of Funnel Hacking Live. Now, we've gone on stage, all the prep. Remember, I had to change the slides a little before because FTC stuff, blah, 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 blah. Came in, sound check 1, sound check 2, get on stage. Am I going to faint? Nobody knows. Your girl pulls it together. Next thing we know, they mess up my video. Are we going to make it? We roll with the punches. We get off stage. It's amazing. Then Marley Jax meets me, takes me into her arms. We're immediately whisked away because we have to get ready to go onto stage for Africa. I get mic 13, she gets mic 12, our favorite ones. I also have a ring from her. It's an Africa ring. I don't know if you could see their animals. Anyway, that was cool, Marley. We love her for that. Then we go, whisked off to an interview. Great times and hand lines. Then come down the escalator. I don't know why I made that escalator ride so long. Get to the bottom, and there's this like whole slew of people, like so many that were like waiting to talk to me. And you know, I was wearing this glitter jacket, which is basically like a neon sign, so that was also part of the maybe catalyst for that as well. But we go down there, and where I left you last time, the cliffhanger for last time was people were upset with me, and there were a few versions of this, and so we're going to start with version number 1, why people were mad. But version number 1, why people were mad, and when I say this, like, this isn't like a marketing thing, like, oh, people were mad, here's the cliffhanger, what's she gonna say? No, they were actually mad. Like, they came up to me, they waited in line for 30 to 40 minutes to tell me that they were mad at me. And I'm going to tell you about the first version of people that were mad at me, and this actually happened throughout the duration of the week. We'll call this angry person number 1, okay? And angry person number 1 started that night right after I spoke, and it actually was the last person that I spoke to was a version of angry person number 1. And like, you would think that this would come in like some sort of flattery, right? But it was actually, they were angry, and the conversation went a little bit like this. They were like, what the heck? Like, usually they'd say, what the hell? What the heck? Like, where have you been? And I was like, wait, what? And I'm like trying to like get context. So this conversation was happening the night after I speech, and they're like, what the heck? Where have you been? And I'm thinking like, I don't know. I was in an interview and I came off stage and I don't know. And they're like, and I was like, wait, what? And they're like, I literally can't tell you how much money I've spent to learn this skill, and I'm still bad at it. And they're like, are you new? Like, who are you? Where did you come from? Like, why have I never heard about you before? And then they, like, started to go into this, like, painful journey of their funnel not converting and how, like, design's a huge portion of it, and they hired a designer and didn't work out, and, like, blah, 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 blah. And, like, again, you think that this would come with, like, some sort of flattery, like, where have you been? Like, you're the answer. Like, design hacking's the answer, blah, blah. Like, that's how you think this would be delivered. But no, they were, like, actually mad at me. They were like, what's your deal? Like, where have you been? Like, are you advertising? Are you doing Facebook ads? Like, why haven't I heard about you? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, I'm doing Facebook ads. I'm like, I'm trying my best out there, guys. I was like, I'm doing joint ventures with people. I'm like doing Facebook ads. I got YouTube ads coming up soon. I'm like, I'm trying my best. But like, this man was like actually upset with me. And he was like, I'm grateful I found you, but like, I'm kind of mad. And I was like, I can see that. And I'm really sorry. And I was like, but like, we'd love to have you inside the world of design hacking. Like, this would be great. And he huffs, and then he like kind of realizes that he got so mad, and he was like, okay, yeah, okay, no, this is good. But I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I am like trying my best. But this version happened like so many times where they were like, are you new? Who are you? Where did you come from? And I'm like, I need to be louder on the World Wide Web. You thought your girl was loud before, and we're learning that was not sufficient. And it's an interesting thing to have somebody get mad at you for something like that. Like, especially as a marketer, when like all you're trying to do is get loud. And I was just like, I had this like existential crisis, like, who am I? I'm not a marketer. Nobody they were mad at me. I should have worked harder to get to them, like blah blah. But it was also good because it was like them, and then there's like this woman like 2 days later who was like particularly upset for like the same reason. She was like, what the heck? Like, where have you been? And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm trying my best out here. And it was actually like a really interesting experience. And so I came back and I told my team about that. And I was just like, because sometimes when you're the one talking, like, design hacking, you're like, can I be more loud about this? But then you realize that you always can be more loud about this. And anyway, it was a really interesting thing to have it not be formed in like, oh my gosh, like I've been looking around for you and like we found you. No, they were like actually mad. They were like I've gone through the OFA like 4 times, like blah blah. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm trying. But it helped me to realize that like that was what we were doing was not sufficient. Okay, which is I want to talk to a little bit more about like what the modifications are going to be for that. But it was actually like a really big eye opener to a few things. One, that like regardless of how loud you think you're being, you're not loud enough. And 2, to see like how poignant this pain point is of not having funnels that convert. Like, that is terrible. And I think sometimes we can get caught up in the actual like funnels, like funnels, and you're like, no, like funnels equal livelihood, funnels equal a movement, like funnels equal getting an idea that's been festering in your veins for the last 3 decades out into the world in a way that actually is significant. Like, that's what a funnel can do. And having design hacking that allows you to have that convert, it's just a big deal. Anyway, so there's a lot of things going on in the back end for game plan be louder than we ever have been before happening back here, which that's exciting. But one of the reasons also, one of the ways that we're also working to fix this is my event Design Hacking Live. And again, the reason being is that this portion of design hacking for funnels, that's just like the smallest part of the equation. Design hacking, with the definition of it, is how to design or how to present stories, hook stories and offers in a way that actually convert. Because again, like, you might be sitting on the most incredible thing in the world, but if you don't know how to present it to the world in a way that people will actually listen, then like we lose the game. And that's what Design Hacking Live is all about. It's how do you take what you're doing, present it in a story that actually makes people want to become a part of it, and then how do you automate that on the back end? Like, that's what's happening at Design Hacking Live. So here's what I'm going to do for the rest of my 1 minute. I guess I only have 1 minute. Guys, I'm going over by 2 minutes, and you're just going to be grateful. I'm just going to say this. It's like the dopest vlog in the land, and it's all for Design Hacking Live. And so here's what I want you to do. Like, if you are sitting on an idea or movement that, regardless of where it is, maybe it hasn't started, maybe you're a few things down the road, like, if you're a good marketer and somebody asks you, do you want better conversions, you will always say yes. And that is what the power of design hacking can do. It can show you how to present your stuff in a way that actually converts, regardless of what format you're going on. And at Design Hacking Live, we're talking about it for funnels, for video, for podcasts, for stage, in terms of how do you talk to yourself. Like, there's so much going on. And so I'm going to show you the dopest vlog in the land that will get you so hyped about Design Hacking Live. But we'd love for you to come hang out with us. Salt Lake City, March 27th, 28th. This is part of our response to the people that were mad at us, and I'm just so sorry, but know that I've personally reached out to them and said, sorry about that, come to Design Hacking Live. This is where you could start. Anyway, you guys are the best, but mostly that was version 1 of person who was mad at me. Don't you worry, the drama continues. There are more people upset with me. So that's just version number 1. We'll dive into version number 2 next, but until then, here's a really cool video. Instagram, let me get you, so you can watch along. Here we go. I think one of the things that is so frustrating is that these people, they want to have more impact, they want to like raise their income, they want to become like a master marketing strategist, they want to reach more people, they want to get their message out, but they just ran out of bandwidth. Like, they just ran out of space. Design hackers, we're just different. We learn different, we communicate differently, we train differently, we obviously design
differently, sell differently, we celebrate differently, and I would also say that we impact differently. So when we gather differently. I don't think an online business owner can afford to not come to Design Hacking Live. The answer is not a faster spinning hamster wheel. Like, the answer is systems, processes, and automations. That's why I'm like so passionate about doing Design Hacking Live. Get people in a room and sit them down and help them to learn, how are we going to now take what you've built, this like amazing thing that you've built, and spread it to the masses in a really significant and impactful way. That's when we'll have won with Design Hacking Live. I am so committed to making sure that when they step out the door, that they feel so much more empowered, number one. But if all that happened is they walk through the door and they're like, I feel great, I can take on the world, I think I will have failed. Not only do I want them to walk out feeling empowered, but they are going to literally have already set up systems and put things in place, automations, processes in their business. But you're walking home into a new business that has already been tailored and tweaked and automated at the event, so that when you go home, it's not like, okay, I gotta like get things going. It's like, oh, I already put this in place, I'm ready to roll. Like that is the type of empowerment I want people to feel, where it's not only something inside, but they can look out and there's tangible evidence that, oh my gosh, what I came in with is so significantly different in terms of my business with what I'm leaving with. When people come to Design Hacking Live, we're going to take inventory of where their business is at moment zero, and when they leave 48 hours later, there will be tangible evidence of significant increases that have happened in those specific areas of their business. And that, I think, will be the magic of Design Hacking Live, is we're not just talking about it, we're doing it.